The other thing that I really adored from when we spent time together in New York that you told me about was a story to do with regrets from Hitch.
Mm.
And this is we're talking about trade-offs here, right? And this has been, I wrote a newsletter about it, which I sent to you.
Mm.
And dude, it is one of the best insights for ameliorating regrets, for understanding that they're an unavoidable part of our lives. You tell that story about what Hitch said to you about regrets?
Yeah, it's Christopher Hitchens. He said, I think he wrote it in his memoir as well. He said you have to choose your regrets. I mean, everyone is going to have regrets in their life, you know. I know people who've achieved great things and achieved small things. All of whom have regrets. And yes, you have to know that you're going to have regrets, and the question is which ones you can bear, and which ones you don't think you can bear. Let me give you an obvious example. Let's say you had a dream always of starting a shop. You know, you've got two options in front of you, really. One is starting it and seeing if it works, and the other one is not, because you fear that it won't work. You'll fall flat on your ass. Both choices have regrets, and the sort of person you are relies to a great extent on which one can I bear. Can I bear not having tried, but at least I didn't fail, more than I can bear I tried and I might have failed? Either way in this calculation, you are risking a type of regret, so you have to make the decision. I have that all the time with writing. Quite a lot of times in my life, I've written things seriously against my own interests, you know. And I have this terrible tearing thing within me, which is, I got to say the thing. I got to say the thing. I just got to say the thing. Don't say the thing, Douglas. Don't say the thing. Everyone's going to hate you. And I'm going to say the thing. And I know that it's because I have two options in front of me. One is happened. I can't remember all the details, but it happened not long ago with some politicians. One is, oh well, that's that. You know, I've broken that relationship, and I have that regret. Not that it's a very big regret, actually, but on the other hand, I would have had the regret of I didn't say what I thought. So at least I don't have that regret. But it is a profound insight of Christopher's, because you know, even freedom, which I mentioned earlier, you know, is not an unalloyed good. It's not like searching for freedom leads you only to a lack of regrets. I mean, my experience of freedom for yourself can be very costly for others.
The thing that it made me realize was, looking back, I'd always presumed that any regret that I had was due to a suboptimal decision that I'd made.
Right.
And that had I have been able to go back and make the right decision, I could have avoided regret entirely. I always thought that regret was a bug of my decision-making, not a feature, an inbuilt feature of being a human. And as soon as you realize the fact that, look, opportunity cost exists. By doing a thing, you're not doing another thing. And even if the thing that you chose to do was perfectly accurate, it was precisely the right thing, you're always going to have an open loop around what could have happened had I have done the other thing. So when you're given the choice between two things, a good way for anybody that's stuck with the decision is to think, which of these two choices could I not bear to live
Yes.
with the regret of?
Absolutely.
And that has clarified.
Absolutely, that happens. I mean, I have that thought all the time. I mean, all the time. What could I not bear? As I say, I mean, for me, a very strong one is speaking my mind, speaking the truth as I see it. I couldn't bear not doing it. I would find it very hard. On occasion, as I say, people say to me, you should be a little bit more diplomatic, with this, or you should have been a bit easier on that person. An elderly friend of mine often phones me up and says, "Oh, that's another country you can't visit, Douglas." So there's about one place you can live in the world. I move to North Korea. No, it's tough on them as well. Unfairly, no. But yeah. So you work out what you can't bear, and you do realize. I mean, maybe this is a bit self-aggrandizing, but there's also a difference in people of the risk they're willing to take, which is, I don't want to overemphasize it myself because I'm a writer, I'm not a soldier, or a fireman or a policeman. But I think there are prices you pay for throwing yourself against the world, and you have to decide whether you want to pay them or not. Most people go along with whatever they're meant to go along with, wherever they are. And a certain type of person doesn't. And generally speaking, I think I tend to be the sort of person who doesn't. And that comes with considerable benefits, in my case, freedom, a certain degree of success, and so on. But it comes with a certain cost. I mean, one of the costs is you always feel a certain sense of isolation, not to say loneliness. I don't feel like I'm not lonely in any personal or ideological sense, but it's inevitable that if you don't go along with the precepts, you're going to have a sort of isolation. But then even that, I mean, and then you test that all the time. Can I bear that? And some of the time the answer will be no, I can't. Other times it'll be, yeah, that's fine.
What's happening, people? If you enjoyed that, then press here for the full, unedited episode. And don't forget to subscribe. Peace.